Father. The first snow of winter. You know what this means?
The eviction season started.
Shut that window. And where the wind of recession's blowing, Austin, there should be plenty of sport. I'm thinking of that feather-bedded clutch of rent defaulters round Gas Street way.
Oh, let me go down there today, Father. Give the vermin notice.
I can see you straining at the leash. I would just the same at your age. I'll be down there with you, only I have designs to execute pertaining to the crutch works, as you know.
Oh, the pace of progress, Father, it's dizzying. Just think, metal crutches, eh?
Shame in a way. If I could have found a breed of woodworm as reliable as this newfangled metal fatigue, I'd have stuck with timber.
Oh, that's just sentiment, Father. You and I are midwives to the birth of planned obsolescence. And it's high time we fired the old crutchrights who, as you know, only work in wood.
Son, you're talking of craftsmen of the finest water, men grown grey in my service. I shall never fire them.
But, Father, it's madness is what you've always warned me against, enlightened capitalism.
Calm yourself, Austin. All I said was I wouldn't be firing them. I'll get somebody else to do that.
You mean? You let me do it?
No, son. If I'm not mistaken, Jack Fairchild will soon be employing those men, and Jack Fairchild will have the doleful duty of dispensing with their services. You know, Sister Charlotte won't like that. He's all over her precious bugle today. Truss Flange Fairchild wins export order.
Yes, he's selling them to Watford.
This local schoolmistress launches tree planting campaign. Who appointed her this Prudence Makepeace?
Now, I chaired the Board of Governors that day, Father. You were tied up at the Home for Wayward Girls.
Well, you took on a lunatic. Listen to this. The intention is to beautify the orderly landscape, blighted as it is by industrial pollution. Can the woman not see beauty when it's in front of her nose? I created that landscape down there, on the canvas of my own imagination, with its towering chimney, its majestic mill, the rugged contours of its slag heaps. That is beauty. And some woman wants to cock it up with a load of trees.
Well, the school's on my way to Gas Street, Father. I'll nip down there and tell her to strap up the old valise.
No, you won't. I'll fire her. I've got to have some pleasure during the course of the day.
These urges of yours, Fairchild, is there any discernible pattern to them?
Well, it comes on 3 times a day after meals, and 3 times a day before meals, and sometimes it's during meals. Since last Thursday night, me and Agnes is barred from fish and chip shop.
This sample you brought me, when did you pass it?
On my way, Doctor. I pass the Orstoff every day.
Oh, Fairchild, when I said I wanted you to pass water and bring me a sample, what I meant was... Oh, never mind. I am 99% certain, Fairchild, that your priapismus maximus has been caused by your exposure to Bradley Hardacre's revolutionary explosive compound.
SPD, you mean?
Aye. You see, George, SPD is chemically composed of 2 elements. Together they explode, but silently. Your metabolism has isolated the missing part.
What I want to know is, can I claim compensation?
Compensation? You bring this to Bradley Hardacre's notice, the man will charge you for it.
I must have a claim, Doctor. I've had that bedroom door off its hinges 8 times, and that chest of drawers she keeps putting in front of me, well, I mean, smashed beyond repair.
Fairchild, are you seriously telling me that you don't enjoy this, what is your local word for it, this clog bounty?
Yeah, Doctor, I've never set much store by it. Except, well, there was once. That was when.
Aye.
Yes, look, I am right in thinking, I'm a doctor, that anything I say to you, you've been a doctor like, it'll go no further.
Oh, aye, anything said in the course of consultation with an idealistic young Scottish doctor such as myself is a sacred trust.
Yeah, well, in that case, I can tell you that I quite enjoyed it when I sold and healed Miss Isabel's clogs.
Miss Isabel? You have had carnal knowledge of
Miss Isabel Hardacre! Keep your voice down, sacred trust, you friend.
I've been on the wrong track all along. SPD's not an aphrodisiac, it's a hallucinogenic. Oh, you and your wife have wasted enough of my valuable time. The minute he mentioned Miss Isabel, I knew it must be a fantasy. She figures so prominently in my own.
I'm going to ride him hard, so when I get back I shall want the sweat rubbed off with a stiff brush. Oh, and after that you can see to the horse.
160, 180, 200. Payment in full for your work on Big Tom.
I'll be honest with you. I thought I'd be kept sweating for this. I was wrong about you.
Oh, there's many are, lad. I'm like a piece of honest English oak, the grain straight and true. Though what makes a rough bark that hides it. You're not misjudged me twice if I put more work your way. The Hardacre Dauntless. Ah, lad. Crutch of the future will be made of that stuff.
Want to turn out crutches for you. Well, I admit it's steady enough trade, but small time.
200,000 a year small time?
You mean there's another war coming? And I could be in on it on ground floor. But I need capital premises.
Call me impulsive if you like, but I've taken a fancy to you, Fairchild. If you like, you can take over the lease on my crutch works.
You'd sell it? The crutch works on Stonehouse Moor?
Well, if you're going to be turning out all my crutches for me, what do I need it for?
We're talking about a lot of brass.
Hey, lad, price will be right. And you can pay me when the profits start to flow. What'd you say?
Done.
Hello, Mummy.
I'm home.
Well, what do you say to the Raymond? I say, Mummy, I've been away 6 weeks at the Minster, and all you can do is to throw books at me.
Get up, Morris.
Why, it's Refractions, the poems of Hesketh Hardacre.
Exactly. And they're word for word identical with my poetic gems, glimpses from a lady's casement.
The fate of the plagiarist through the ages, Mother. Let's face it. Neither of us wrote these poems. We both know that they are the work of Matthew Fairchild.
That's neither here nor there. After all, I inspired them.
Oh, no, Mummy, no. It was I who first uncovered his undoubted talent.
No, Morris, it was I who took his little talent in hand, made it burgeon and blossom.
You're cruel and wicked, Mother. But now, as a man of the cloth, I forgive you.
Well, I can't forgive this. This review in today's paper by Peregrine Marchbank Smith.
A review by Perry. How wonderful. Perry and his circle are the very spume on the crest of the new wave.
He says, in Hesketh Hardacre, we are privileged to salute with awe and reverence the emergence of a major new talent, scintillating resonance, the glitter of his dexterity matched only by the coruscating effulgence of his metaphor.
I told you he was perceptive.
In contrast, how narrow and obscure must be the provincial casement through which a lady, no doubt of a certain age, has peered dimly, and oh, how diligently, her plodding metre, her baffled gropings towards a mere suburban sophistication. Aye, suburban!
Teacher not here, I see. Makes her dismissal all the more deserved. What's this she's got you doing? I think that I shall never see a thing as lovely as a tree. Poetical nonsense. I'll give you a lesson about trees. You're Jessie Tebbit's, well, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen your mother for... Let's see, how old are you, 10?
Sir.
Must be best part of 11 years. Trees. Well, Mother Nature, in her wisdom, saw to it that this country were covered in trees. Going back a few years now, of course. This is well before the war. And them trees got crushed under the ground. What are they now? Coal. Coal. As keeps some of you warm at home. Coal. As when you grow to man's estate when you're 14, will give you useful employment. I'll get that wrote down.
Good children, you've been wonderfully quiet. Oh, aren't you Mr. Hardacre?
I am.
Sit down, Raleigh. Make room for him, Rudge. You'll think it remiss of me not being here, Mr. Hardacre, but I had to attend to little Raleigh's nosebleed.
It was remiss of you, Miss Makepeace. And that is why I am here to tell you that you're...
That I'm...
that you're every inch the mistress that the chairman of governors of this school has long been looking for.
Labour to fight by-election. Look, Mother, it's in Bugle. 'Tis Miss Charlotte's doing that.
Mother, Matt.
So, thou's not forgot their path to their mother's door, Mr. Fairchild.
Mister? Don't take on so, Mother.
Nay, son, 'tis you as is taken on. They tell me you're an employer now. They sold their birthright for a mess of pottage.
Can I not do right by thee, Mother? Canst not see I'm trying to better myself?
Aye, by being a traitor to their class. Oh, son, 'tis hand in hand by the common struggle. That's how our sort will clamber out of the gutter to the sunlit uplands of a...
Where? The pavement? I'll tell you what's wrong with your precious Labour movement, Mother. All they want to do is build a better gutter.
A gutter's a useful thing, our Jack. It carries away the scum.
Meaning me, I suppose.
If the cap fits.
Nay, there's no cap that fits thee now, our Jack. Nay, not Keir Hardy's cap what he gave to me dad. 'Tis our Matt that wears it now.
I didn't come here to quarrel. I come here to do thee a bit of good. And like you said, I am taking on hands. Well, there's a job for me dad, if he wants it. Aye. And one for you too, Ahmad. You saved me life on Big Tom, and I've not forgot it. We looked down on the world that day. Put thy lot in with me, and it's of you we'll get used to, thee and me.
Aye, the tempter took him up unto an high place and showed him the kingdoms of the world, and he said to the tempter...
Let Matt speak for himself, Mother.
Aye, I'll speak. Get thee behind me, Satan.
I'll not offer twice. Mother, if you must pod peas all your life, do yourself a favour. 5 peas to a pod, right? Every 10th pod, stick 4 in and keep the odd one for yourself. They soon mount up.
Nay, Jack. We'll not get rich taking the pea out of poor folks' mouths. What's up, Mother?
Something that's baffled me for years, son of mine. Do you remember that whistle I used to have that were your Uncle Cedric's?
Him as were a referee.
Aye. Well, one day I took it out of the dresser to polish it, and it wouldn't blow. Somebody had taken the pea out of it. I often wondered who. I'd hoped were burglars, but now I know better.
Of early morning prayers has been sadly neglected here at High Haddam Hall. Mea culpa. Starting tomorrow at 5 a.m. you will all assemble in the servants' hall for prayers and a reading from the grislier sections of the Old Testament. Those who do not pray, neither shall they stay in my Father's house. Oh, yea, verily there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Among those of you with teeth to gnash. Now, I personally may not always, or even often, be able to lead your matitudinal orisons. That duty will fall to Hillman, who will shortly distribute to each of you a prayer book, the cost of which will be deducted from your wages. Amen. Dismiss. Oh, what jolly, blistering fun! I'm going to like being a vicar.
Oh, Morris, can you help me?
Let me see that. But why, it's a masterpiece. No. More than a masterpiece. It's a searing indictment of the ivory tower mentality.
Yes.
Sublime yet savage wit. It should be made compulsory to hang that picture in every home in the land.
Yes, and she's such a pretty green colour. She's Chinese.
Well, when you come down to it, aren't we all?
I think theological college has been good for you, Morris. You're not as cynical.
How did you come by this?
Matthew Fairchild painted it.
Matthew Fairchild? Matthew Fairchild. Do you realize, Charlotte, you've entrapped a genius in the toils and meshes of your woman's wiles?
Oh, Morris, you don't know how cruel that is. I love him, yes, but he cannot love me or any woman.
What do you mean?
Oh, Morris, you're so good and innocent. There are some men, I know you'll find this hard to believe, who aren't attracted to ladies. They're attracted to other men.
Are you telling me he's one of them?
Yes. Yes, yes.
I should have known. He's far too talented to be a boring old normal.
It was so good of you to give the children a half holiday.
Oh, not at all. No, they'll get some fresh air out on the potato field, picking the stones up.
You know, I love every one of them as if they were my own.
You'd like to have children, would you, Miss Makepeace?
These are my children. Some, you know, are surprisingly gifted. Young Hercules Entwistle, though born out of wedlock, I gather.
Yes, I know his mother. Well, I did at one time. Clever lad, is he?
Oh, he's scholarship material. And there are others. Young Ellsworth Wilson and Humber Spenlow.
And there again, children of unmarried mothers, as I recall. Products of what one might call a cycle of deprivation.
The standard of the whole class is quite remarkable, especially as many of them come from very large families.
Aye, the fathers are often unlettered men. Miss Makepeace, I do hope that your post here at the Utterly Mixed Infants is not destined to be just the first of many glittering prizes.
Oh, no, I feel so happy here, because I'm needed and so fulfilled.
Is there nothing lacking that I perhaps could supply?
Well, there is just one thing I find I'm missing, Roger.
Yes?
You'll think me awfully self-indulgent, but I do miss having a really good piano.
I have a grand piano up at the hall, a great big job, wonderful instrument. You must come and play on it. Well, if he won't go up the stairs, everyone, send down to the works, get George Fairchild and a couple of men with the hoist, and get that piano up into my bedroom.
Bradley? Why are you having the piano moved?
Eh? Oh, well, you know, you get tired of seeing it stuck in the same place. It'd be nice to have a change.
But it's been in the morning room ever since you took it from that sweet little Polish politician who defaulted on the horse-drawn artillery.
Oh, Paddy. Paddy, what was his name? How an Irish piano player ever gets to be Prime Minister of Poland, I shall never know.
But why must you have it in your bedroom?
Well, there's a pattern in the wallpaper. If you half close your eyes, it looks like a dog cocking its leg. Drives me mad lying there of a morning, so I thought if I had the piano up there and put the lid up, it'd block it off.
You're lying, Bradley. I ask you again, why must you have a piano in your bedroom when you don't even play?
Well, it might interest you to know I'm thinking of taking lessons. You're always welcome at a party if you can knock out a tune on the old Joanna.
Bradley, it's time to face facts. The reason you're unwelcome at parties is not because of your inability to play the piano. It's because of your inability to play the game. I'm referring to that weekend we were obliged to cut short at Lady Harding's after the charades.
Don't go raking that up.
You were asked, as I remember, to portray the book title A Tale of Two Cities.
I genuinely misheard the woman. Anyway, it was her own fault wearing that low-cut dress.
Blankets and brushes, Mellis. We'll see to the horse first.
Don't you think you're working him a bit hard? Some of us are rather more than we care to lose riding on him in the National. Mountfast, for one.
You mean?
Well, the word at the club is he's plunged heavily. Money he hasn't got, of course, and won't have until you two are spliced.
When he marries me, he'll have more than he can handle.
Looking ahead, old girl. Mountfast can't be more than a short head in front of the Grim Reaper. When he goes, you'll be a pretty powerful woman. I don't know whether you've done the arithmetic, but with the shareholding Mountfast screwed for out a father in the settlement, plus Mummy's, plus your own, added to mine, we'd be in a pretty powerful position to outvote anyone on the board. And when I say anyone, of course, I mean father.
You've been very clever, Austin, but you've overlooked one thing. The largest single block in your unholy alliance will be the Mountfast holding.
But Mountfast will be dead.
The widowed Lady Mountfast will be very much alive. And kicking.
Me?
I mean, there's only ever room for one rider in the saddle. But put your money on me, Austin, and when the time comes, I'll see there's a place for you in the winner's enclosure. Mellis! It's
gastric, Doctor. My father's cut off the water supply.
You're medical officer of health now, Doctor. Will you help us?
All I can do, Mr. Fairchild, is declare those houses unfit for habitation.
But if they're running water, Doctor, they'd not be unfit.
Oh, by this time next week, I happen to know all those houses will have running water. He's planning to take the roofs off.
We can't do that while there are people living there.
Calm yourself, Miss Hardacre. He's evicting the tenants first.
The party will fight this all the way.
And the paper, too. The bugle will blast on this one. And you'll join us, won't you, Doctor?
Well, my position is very delicate, Miss Hardacre.
Doctor, you're wanted in casualty. There's been another man crushed by a falling piano.
With an epidemic of falling pianos on my hands, I can hardly spare the time. You see how it is.
Oh, yes, Doctor. I see how it is. You've sold out to my father like everyone else. Well, we will fight. Come on, Matt. Our plans must be well and truly laid.
Well and truly laid. Oh, no. When the lights are low and...
Job's a good, Mr. Hardacre. We got piano in the through balcony window it finished. Yeah, mind you, there was some shenanigans till I got that job. There's 3 blokes at hospital. Sir Butler chap of yours, Mr. Hillman, he ruptured himself. Well, he'll not be waiting on for more.
George, you've known me all my life, isn't that right? Since we were kids in the old cottage workhouse.
Ah, yeah, what now? Cottage hospital. Yes. I often think of them days. Yeah. It's true what they say. Your workhouse days are the happiest days of your life.
It was this Ollie that brought it all flooding back. 18 I were, and they were a lass. As high above me as I am above you.
That's a long way, Mr. Hardacre.
A lass from the hall at Bishop's Tippings. Had no brass for flowers to take her, but I plucked a bough of holly from the finest tree in the old squire's wood. Scarlet with berries it were. And scarlet my hands with scratches as I bore it to her front door. I looked her father in the eye like a man, and I told him I'd no brass now, but I would have, and I wanted her. And did he say, "Hey, you're a lad of grit and metal," did he say, "Step in and meet the wife"? No. He laughed and summoned flunkies. They called me this and they called me that. They stuffed the holly down the front of me trousers and flung me in the stinking waters of the Otterley Canal.
Down front of your trousers, Mr. Hardacre.
Humiliation like that, George. It scars a man. Whenever I think of a woman, them scars seem to swell and magnify. I swore then, George, I'd never expose myself to that ignominy again. Women, I'd use them, aye. But I'd never fall so low as to fall in love.
Very wise, Mr. Hardacre. It only costs you money at long run.
Love, George, is like a piano.
I've often thought that, Mr. Hardacre.
Oh, it can be grand in the corner of some noble mansion, or even an upright job against the wall in some humble dwelling. But when it falls on you from a great height, there's no resisting it. And that's what's happened to me, George. I've been struck down by the falling piano called love.